What's up, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Just Jonathan here, and wanted to shoot a quick video just to give you a little bit of an idea of how truly bizarre the US housing market has become. And then we'll end with one recommendation, really one implication that I think this has for everyone who is currently either in the market or considering getting in the market. Glenn Kelman, Redfin CEO, I find him to be a wealth of information on multiplying and protecting your wealth in and through real estate. He's often active on Twitter. Yesterday, he posted a series of tweets that gives you an idea, a flavor of some of these macro and micro narratives in the housing market and what they mean for you. And I just want to identify a few of them just to give you a taste of how crazy the market is. I'm going to lead with the story that I think perhaps gives you an idea of how bizarre the market has become and really the lengths that people are going to in order to win a transaction, a deal, whether it's a buy or a sell side. Right here in the good old state of Maryland, in Bethesda, Maryland, to be exact, a buyer was working with a Redfin agent. And in order to show the level of commitment that this buyer had for a particular property, they chose to write in the offer that they pledged to name their firstborn child after the name of the seller. They did not win the offer. They lost despite their pledge to name their firstborn child after the seller. There's currently more realtors than there are listings. How many listings, you wonder? Well, year over year, we're down 36% from where we were last year, a record low. What we've seen in the median home value is that's increased 24% year over year, which is a record high. The average time that it takes a home to sell in the macro market is 17 days, another record low. And we're seeing homes sell for 1.7% above what they come on the market for, which is another record high. When you look at all that this is creating, one of the interesting stats and stories that came out from what Glenn mentioned was that majority of the people who bought homes bought larger homes. And yet 78% of the people surveyed said that even though they spent more money to purchase a larger home that was more expensive than the home that they were in, 78% of those people either had the same amount of disposable income or had more disposable income than they had before they bought the more expensive home. Well, lumber prices, if you haven't wondered or if you've been living under a rock, they're up 300%, as well as the traditional basket of goods that is involved in new home builds or renovations. Those prices are up. One of the interesting finds that I found here was that when you look at low tax states and you look at people fleeing the high tax states, California and New York, you have a ratio here that is quite bizarre and concerning if you are wanting to move into one of those low tax states. The average ratio of people moving into low tax states to the ratio of people moving out of low tax states is 4 to 1. Let me say that again, 4 to 1. If you want to move to Texas, 5 to 1. For every 5 people that move in, one person moves out. If you want to move to the beautiful sunshine state of Florida, the ratio is 7 to 1. And one of the things that we're seeing is local and state county governments have no leverage to raise taxes. And so it's leaving the federal government with the obligation and the commitment to fund some of these programs that they've promised to fund, whether it's social justice programs or whatever. The local and state county governments don't have any leverage to raise taxes. And so the federal government now is left with these. Now, the last story here that I found sad is that of the individuals surveyed, 90% of those that were making $100,000 or more reported that they had the liberty to work from home, work virtually, and they had flexibility because of that with their housing options. Individuals that are making $40,000 or less do not have that same flexibility. They are not able to work virtually. And so the very people that need the most affordable housing options are the ones who have the least flexibility to actually enjoy and take advantage of those options. Now, I share all these stories to give you an idea of how bizarre the market is, but I share all these stories too to bring up one point. There's so many implications here that it would take too long, and I'm just honestly not smart enough to be able to draft out all of the different implications for you, whether you're a buyer, seller, investor. But I would say this, I think it is, I implore you that the single thing that I think everybody needs, and needs as much of it as you can, if you are wanting to buy or sell in this market, is wisdom. And wisdom is something that you either have yourself, or you surround yourself with that multitude of counsel that in so doing, you now are able to acquire wisdom from them. I can't tell you how many times on an everyday basis in the role that I have as a lead listing advisor, as director of expansion into different markets, connecting with agents, connecting with clients, many of whom were poorly served by an agent who did not have wisdom or does not have wisdom. And I cannot emphasize this enough, that if you are going to buy or sell a home in this market, please, I implore you, please look for a leader, not a salesman, not an order taker, not someone who can do all of these different things, but somebody who you know can lead and guide and shepherd you and shepherd a transaction so that you maximize your upsides and you minimize your downside. Somebody that can truly advise you as to the second and third and fourth order consequence of making a particular decision, whether or not you buy a home, whether or you sell a home. How do they help you know this is what's going to happen second, third, and fourth if you choose this course of action? And you know who those people are, because people that have wisdom, there is a weight to them, there is a gravity to them, there is a nuancing that they have because they've learned it through really experience, and even more so, they've learned it through making mistakes. And so now they're weathered. They know what to do, how to do it, and even more importantly, they know what to avoid and what to encourage you to avoid. So folks, if you are looking to get in this crazy housing market, please choose to partner with somebody who is wise. If you don't have that wisdom, they can help you get it, and they can help lead the transaction so that you flourish in ways that you wouldn't if you had someone and partnered with someone who did not have wisdom. We are drowning in information. We are starving for wisdom. Make sure you partner with a wise guide, because that will be the difference maker. Hope y'all are great. See you in the next video. See ya.